Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Dream Giveaway Garage, and guess what? I have the legend right here next to me. What is it? It's a 1969 Camaro SS 396 convertible. But before we get into this automotive icon, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Chevrolet Camaro was born in 1967. That first generation ended with this model year, and it seems that the 69 model year is the year that most people want if they want a first gen Camaro, because it was the culmination of the first gen, because in 1970 that was a totally redesigned Camaro starting the second generation. Now what's fascinating is that of course the Camaro didn't start the fire. It was the 1965 Mustang that started that pony car war. But when Chevy unveiled the Camaro and the cousin brand, Pontiac, with the Firebird and the Trans Am, it was game time, and that's where Chevrolet brought their magic. Now, what I want to find out is that if you're looking for a classic pony car, a classic muscle car, is this the more legendary car over the 1965 Mustang? Let's go ahead. Let's drive and dive into our 69 SS 396 and find out. Right off the bat, the style. It's just so simple, so clean, and so easily identifiable. Love the hockey stick stripe on the side. Gives it that nice pop of color with the black, but it's classy, elegant, and sporty all at the same time. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna find some RS touches, some rally sport touches. We have the hideaway headlights. These doors actually open up to where the headlights are placed behind. You'll also see the placement of the Chevrolet Camaro badge. And then of course, coming across that front egg crate grille, the flat black design, super sport with the badge. And then you'll notice on the bottom side, you have your driving lights and that front splitter. That all ties in to what the SS 396 is all about. Now remember, at this time in 69, Chevy was still racing in the Trans Am series with the Sunoco Penske Camaros. So that's another reason why it's kind of special to have this car, is because of that connection with the Trans Am racing. But definitely love the nice style. Let me know what you think when looking at a 65 Mustang, how you compare. Now, as you rise up, you got that nice muscle car bulge. What you'll see, and it's actually a zonk, are the fake vents on the hood. They actually call those the ice cube trays because they fill with water and the water doesn't go anywhere because they're not functional, but they look good. Let me know what you think about that hood. Obviously, different hood for a Z28 compared to the SS 396. And if you got a Copo Camaro, that one had a different hood as well. Now, as we come around the bend, this one has a very classic style torque thrust wheel. Now, what's fascinating about it, it's all polished aluminum. You can see the torque thrust design. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? It's a 16-inch wheel. We have disc brakes up front, drum brakes out back, because very rare, there's a few out there that actually have four-wheel disc brakes. It was an option, very rare package, but most you're gonna find are gonna have the disc brakes up front, drum brakes out back. Obviously, better braking capability than just drum brakes all the way around. But you'll see, this is that classic style of wheel that people modified during this time period. Now, if you're wondering what type of tires we're running a modern day tire, 215 on the width up front, 60 series sidewall. Obviously, this one has some lowering springs to give it the perfect gap between the top of the tire and the inside of the fender. And like I pointed out, there's that 396 badge. The badge doesn't lie, because underneath the hood, we have that 396 cubic inch engine. Now, coming down the side of the vehicle, love that hockey stick stripe, how it comes to a point. We have our chrome door handles. And then down below, to match the aluminum wheels, we have some aluminum trim just along the bottom. And I like from the side of the vehicle just the overall proportions of a 69 Camaro. Coming towards the rear, you'll notice that classic style, how they put the, it's a fake vent again, so I will have to zonk it, but this really plays. Like if you get a 5th generation Camaro in 2010, it has that indentation down here on the quarter panel, signifying its connection with this. This is where the design came from. Now we got that nice drop top. We do have the drop top cover that snaps in, matches the interior. And then working our way down the ground level, out back, 225. So a little bit wider tire. You'll see the drum brakes. So there are your drum brakes sitting behind on the rear. And if you're wondering why put discs up front and drums on the back, why not just put drums all 4 corners? Because the weight goes forward when you brake, and it's better to have better braking capability up front than in the rear. But obviously the best thing to do would be to swap out the rear drums and put disc brakes as well. Now swinging around back, love that wonderful trunk lid. We got the Camaro badge by Chevrolet. You got your kick-up rear spoiler. This really sets it off. I feel like Camaros that don't have this spoiler, this trunk lid spoiler, it really feels like it's missing something, but when it's there, it looks perfect. The way they did the taillights, these are actually angled in, kind of cool. You got your reverse lights. Look at the exhaust, nice and close to the rear bumper area. Limited slip diff, the SS badge, you know what that stands for, not super smart. It stands for super sport. But I just love the back of this vehicle, the way the bumpers are nice and close to the body, the great work with the lights. But why don't we go pop that hood and see the 396 that sits underneath it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. This was technically the largest engine you can get underneath the hood of a 69 Camaro, unless you were able to have a special dealer that would put in one of those COPO orders. That's that central office production order where you could basically pick and choose what you wanted down to the 427. Because remember, Chevrolet technically did not want the Camaro to have the 427 cubic inch V8 because they didn't want it to outcompete the Corvette. So that's why this had the 396. But if you, like I said, if you are very lucky and you're able to buy one of those COPO Camaros, those have 427 V8s, big blocks underneath the hood. But what do we have? Like I said, 396 has been on a rotisserie restoration. Love all the classic badging that's on the air cleaner cover, even down to the chrome valve covers, your aluminum intake manifold, alternator, water pump, and of course that bright orange, which is what they painted on Chevy blocks. Now this one does have optional power steering, power brakes, and what it has bolted to that engine is that Muncie, that M22 Muncie 4-speed manual transmission with the limited slip diff, that L78, that was the code for the 396. The L78 is a solid lifter engine, 6.4 liters of V8 goodness, 375 horsepower, 0 to 60, if you know how to do the business, about 6.8 seconds, quarter mile in 14 seconds flat at 105 miles an hour. The one downside to going with the 396 is that it weighed about 500 pounds more than your standard engines in the Camaro. So that brings your weight up to 3,400 pounds. But this is what it was all about. When you pop a hood on a 69 Camaro, you see nothing but engine, and everything is easily able to be to where you could get to the spark plugs, the wires. You got your 4-barrel carburetor mounted on the top of that intake plenum underneath our air cleaner cover there. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready, let's fire up this 396 and hear what it sounds like. right, guys, come on in. We're in this 1969 Camaro SS 396. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, how much was this thing back in 1969? Well, guess what? A base 69 Camaro SS would run you around $2,900. This one, you're looking around $3,400, which I know by today's standards is peanuts. But back then, that was a pretty good chunk of change. Now, this one does have some options inside, just like we talked about the options underneath the hood. But let's see what you got back in 1969 when you went Camaro to the door panels. I love the white interior with our black example. Simple armrests, no cup holders. You'll notice that we have power windows. There's your power window switch, like the Camaro name badge, and then the nice chrome door handle that opens up the door right in the center down there. But no place to put anything to eat. But what are you gonna do? Now, going from the door panel to the dash, that nice restoration taking place. We have the faux wood finish on the interior. Another Camaro badge, an oak crap handle for your passenger. This one does have the rally pack gauges. Love the quadrant of gauges. If you bought a 2010 Camaro SS, you could get the gauges like this. That's why they were styled like that, is because of back in the original first generation. You got oil pressure, fuel, temp, and battery. We got the Muncie 4-speed. There is your layout with this chrome shifter. Throws are a little long, but the engagement is really, really crisp. I really like the action on the engagement, but just a classic look with some faux wood finish. You got a place to put your seat belts, your lap belts, and then you do have a cigarette ashtray back then, kind of weirdly located. Now, armrest, because we have the center console, this is hard as a rock, but hey, this is 1969. You open it up, this is where you could put 3 Twinkies. I know you can't see it because it only opens my way, but 3 Twinkies go in there. And then the white seats, the vinyl with the houndstooth, classic houndstooth style. Of course, full manual assist for the driver and the passenger. And then to get into the back, you got plenty of room back here with the houndstooth, your lap belts, ready to rock and roll, go cruise the beach. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the teak wood wheel in this Camaro SS. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You can see how you have your 4 electric switches for the 4 windows, all power. In the pedal box, you got your clutch, brake, and throttle. And then this extra pedal here is obviously for the emergency brake. And there's that little button down there for the high beams. Like the way they put the stainless steel on the sill with body by Fisher. Fisher's the one that used to do all the work for General Motors. Sitting here, I feel fantastic. I'm ready to take you for a drive, but first, let me show you what's going on. We got the teak wood wheel with the red, white, and blue and the bow tie in the center. It is a tilting wheel, not telescoping, tilting wheel. And we do have, whoop, that was the horn. And we do have our power top switch, which is nice. Speedometer on the left. In the center, we have our clock, which actually works. And then we have our tachometer all the way to the right, heater controls, and the good old-fashioned radio controls. That's all you got. But I'm ready to rock and roll, so if you're ready, oh wait, hold on, let me fix this. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's fire up this Camaro SS 396 and take it for a rip-roaring spin. All right, guys, we are in this Camaro SS 396. Doing it the old-fashioned way, all analog, none of that infotainment BS, but lots of on throttle, and if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go! Love that pure, visceral experience in something like this. To have the Camaro name SS with the 396, it just really takes you back to a simpler time. And the way that this one has been restored rotisserie restoration, but the way that they did the engine with the special cam that they're running just produces a ton of torque, a ton of horsepower, and rides really, really well, which isn't easy for older cars like these. I love the Muncie 4-speed, but the sound of that V8. The throws are kind of long, but the engagement is crisp. Second gear, on throttle. Really, really love having this experience. Unbelievable. Seeing the gauges, the tach, the speedometer, the clock, and then you have the rally pack gauges that we showed you down below with your temp, your oil pressure. And this one is just spec'd so beautifully. That sound, and it's interesting because I was thinking about this earlier. The people that drove these back in the day at crazy speeds had some guts, because you're sitting in a seat that doesn't give you much bolstering. It doesn't really allow you to kind of be exactly one with the car. You're kind of along for the ride. But it's crazy how this particular one, the power steering is done so nicely in it. So nicely. Look at that. Love the sound of that freaking V8. Absolutely love it. Power brakes. And just having the 4 gears, it's easy to bang them off. And you really, I mean, you could be in second gear from a slow roll and you have so much torque, it's not even funny. So much torque. Here we go, first gear. Into that second, just a straight shot. On throttle. It just sounds so damn good. Having the top down, a great view with that muscle car bulge. Just they don't do cars like these anymore. They just don't. And now that the Camaro's killed off, once again, just sad. Like all we're left with our SUVs and cars that cost $200,000 or more. That's pretty much sums up the auto industry right now. But as you can tell from the smile on my face, I'm enjoying this. A special experience that I'm so glad to be able to share with you. Nice downshift, look at that. And this one doesn't have a bunch of creaks and rattles, which blows my mind because it's a convertible. And convertibles, especially during this time period, when you cut the roof off, they freaking flex, rattle, and roll everywhere. But I like how buttoned down this one is. It really drives and rides really great. But I'm hoping that you've enjoyed this drive back in time with this Camaro SS 396. We're gonna get back to Dream Giveaway Garage and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day. It's like going back in time. I love it. If you don't have a DeLorean with a flux capacitor, this is the next best thing. This 69 Camaro SS 396. Definitely want to thank the whole Dream Giveaway Garage for inviting us out to share this one with you. But let me know what you think. Is the Camaro more iconic to you, or is it the Mustang? Let me know down in that comment section how you're feeling. But remember, if you want to win this and the Chevelle that goes with it, because it's a twofer. If you use the Radies Rides promo code, spend $25 or more, you get 3 times your giveaway chances. And like I say in every video, I don't get paid to say that. I don't get paid if you buy giveaways. That's just something that Dream Giveaway Garage wants to offer to the Radies Rides fans, because they want to see you win. I want to see you win. But let me know how your thoughts are on this particular Camaro SS. If you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rides family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood, no matter if it's a new car, old car, truck, boat, plane, submarine. I mean, he even did a jet rocket once. So Stephen's covered it all. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.